Hey there, Boots Owen here. This is a potter's wheel. It's quite a smart one, I reckon. It's got a plastic tub, aluminium plate, quite decent bearings. It's an electric model. It's got a footrest here, although I wonder if something's missing from that. And it's also got a saddle or a seat bracket here, but I wonder, well, the seat's clearly missing. Over on this side, it has this massive foot switch, which drives some kind of speed control for the motor. It's got an on-off switch here, which has a no volt release, I think. It doesn't tell you a name. It says the machine must be effectively earthed. 0.25 quarter horsepower, 240 volts. The model number has been drilled through. I'm not sure why. 16287. It doesn't have a brand name, or maybe it does. Goodwin, is that the maker's name? Don't know. There's some other things, bearing numbers 6204 and belt numbers. I think it was originally connected using a hardwired conduit system in a school or something, and well, it no longer is. I got it on the street and I know somebody who might like it. Check out Andy's channel, Andy Reynolds. He is doing a lot of kind of wild pottery using wild clay, and he's built his own pottery kiln, so he may or may not want it, and this video will help him to decide. Inside, it has this panel which was held on by screws, but I have removed. Inside, the motor has fallen off the motor mounts, and I don't think that's so complicated because these things, the rubber has perished in them, but I recall that these are exactly the same as were on the bottom of my Volkswagen T4 van, so they're not very hard to find. And I might even have a couple of them. The motor, I thought, well, thought is nothing to it. That's really stiff, so I wonder if the bearings on that have failed or something. It's turning, but it's really stiff, so I'm not even going to plug it in because that would be a disaster. There's no belt from the motor to here, and it has a 2-speed arrangement, I think. It has a 2-speed pulley anyways, but there's only one pulley on this side, so it will drive this big pulley, which in turn drives the rear pulley and goes up through that shaft to drive the platen on top. And here there's a waste hose, which I think you can drop out the bottom or out the side, and that just takes any slops away. So this motor should be mounted like that. I wonder, could you bond? No, the feet are all there, but anyways, it should be mounted like that. Have a bit of vibration isolation, I guess, with those rubber feet, and drive that belt. A belt like that shouldn't be hard to come by. It's a bit shorter than this one. In fact, the number was there, so if you could figure out which one this one was. Does it have a name on it? If I keep spinning it and looking, I don't see one. It's not to say there isn't one. There. 2480 Fenner. That's a real brand. So if that one's 2480, then the other one should be 2360. So if you get a 2360 belt, you're probably rocking Fenner 2360. Now let's have a look at this motor and speed control. This is a little sew trick. So I think this is off an industrial sewing machine. That's what conclusion I came to. 5000 RPM. I think it's variable, and I think it's got brushes inside. I thought I'd seen cover plates. Yeah, there. So those are cover plates. So the pedal drives this lever, the conrod drives a rack and pinion, which I presume has some kind of a thing inside there that gives you speed control. I'm not sure if I want to invest any time in this. I have some of the rubber feet, and I know what they're called, so I can throw them in for Andy if he wants it. And I wonder why it's stiff. It could just be a question of putting some oil on it. Right. So it might have bearings and it might have bushings, and if it's bearings you see in their C's, you'll feel it clunking. It feels almost like it's got bushings. I don't know how much time I want to invest in this. It's a 2-wire and earth, so I presume it's a standard affair. There's those rubber feet just falling apart. Whenever the rubber bonding is done on them. I'm just watching the end of that shaft in here. It doesn't look like it's bent, so it looks okay. It just might need cleaning up. It looks like if you pull off that pulley, you can open up the plate on each end to get to bearings. So it's probably if it isn't cooked, it's a useful little motor. If not, you could stick another motor on it. I'm sure you can get something to do a small belt drive, and when the pulleys are there, you're halfway there. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this. I think it's a job for whoever gets it. I'll talk to Andy about it and see what he thinks. If you know anything about these machines, what make or model it is, or any of that kind of stuff, let me know. Or if there's any obvious parts missing. I think that footrest is probably about right. I think you perch your toe up there, and then I think is there a spring inside to return it? I can't remember now. There maybe should be a spring there pulling it back, I don't know. But there wasn't one inside, and equally there wasn't a belt inside, which makes me think somebody has interfered with it previously. And they've also fitted a standard plug, which means that it wasn't hardwired. There's the fixing screws that were on the board. It's all made out of beech wood and plywood. So that piece there looks to be beech wood to me. That's plywood. The legs appear to be beech, or some similar hardwood. It looks like beech to me, just from looking at it, and you can see a bit of live edge there on the stuff. But mighty heavy. Pretty much all timber construction, really, which just shows you that you can make things out of timber. Yeah, anything you know, let me know in the comments. Andy, if you want it, it's yours. Thanks for watching. See you later.